Today, we're going to drink some Pahlmeyer Jayson 2021 Chardonnay. What's going on, everyone? It's Dublin. Come eat and drink with me. Today, we're drinking Pahlmeyer Jayson 2021 Chardonnay. Now, this is from Napa Valley, and it is the second label of the world-renowned. They think they're world-renowned. I think they're pretty darn good. Pahlmeyer make fabulous, amazing Cabernet Sauvignons. They make amazing Chardonnays, and they have a second label called Jayson. Why am I trying out Jayson and not for top tier stuff? Because we're continuing with the maybe Village, Grand Cru, Premier Cru, Burgundy rating with all these Napa Valley Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs. So I thought, what better test than to try out the second label of a legend of Napa Valley that makes amazing Cabernet. I know it's not Burgundy, but they are very well known, and I've had their Pahlmeyer Chardonnays, and man, let me tell you, that is some Grand Cru Chardonnay. Now, is there a second label of Premier Cru, or is it a Village? I don't know. I'm pretty curious, and I want to find out. Like I said, this is Napa Valley, so it's a blend of different vineyards. And these guys get their grapes from Carneros and St. Helena Valley Floor, which I find very interesting. The St. Helena Valley Floor, you're going to get that kind of rich, a little bit warmer weather, more extracted type of flavors, a little more, concentrated grapes in that area. You get a different feel than Carneros, because Carneros, and this is supposed to be kind of like in the hilly area of Carneros, you get that fog that rolls in up from the bay, much, much cooler than the Napa Valley Floor. So you're going to get a little more acidic, a little more Burgundian style, Chablis style, much more acidic wines and Chardonnays out of there. So blend those two together, you might just have the perfect wine. Now, maybe that's saying a little too much, but hey, you don't know until you try it. So to talk about this wine a little bit, it is a heavily toasted, 100% barrel fermented, then aged for 12 months in 38% new Francois Ferret barrels. Probably destroyed that last name, but French oak in 62% 1 to 2 year used Pahlmeyer Chardonnay barrels, which is leading me to believe that maybe the Pahlmeyer is 100% new oak. I don't know, I'm gonna have to research that a bit, but it doesn't matter. This wine is 62% 1 to 2 year used. So that's a pretty decent percentage of new oak, but it's not heavily oaked. Maybe because it is heavily toasted, which, as you know, if you have a heavily toasted oak barrel, you're going to get a lot of vanilla out of there, especially in red wines. So I'm really interested to see what all of this comes together. Two different regions of Napa Valley, Carneros, Napa, St. Helena Valley Floor. What's going on? And then you have two different types of oak being used, neutral, 1 to 2 year, and then 32%, 38% new oak. That's a lot going on. The winemaker must really know what she's doing. Very impressive. So let's get into this bottle, and then we'll do a little bit of a little cheese and wine and cheese pairing here and see what's going on there. And then we'll talk about what I think maybe you can pair with this kind of a wine. Look at that. Beautiful golden color. Very nice. I brought out the little heavily oaked Chardonnay glass because this is heavily toasted. So I'm thinking this might be a little bit on the oaky side. A little sniffy sniff here. Oh wow. That's definitely got that Premier Cru kind of a nose. Beautiful, like orange blossom and honeysuckle in the nose. Kind of a lemoniness going on there, which feel a little bit of Carneros there. Lemon, the Chardonnay, right away I think Carneros. A little bit of like a almost almondy action in there, a little bit of nuttiness. Maybe that's some of that oak coming through. Yeah, it's a little bit of that oak coming through. Yeah, that kind of vanilla spiciness coming through. There's that heavily toasted oak. Really nice nose. Very classic kind of Napa Valley Chardonnay nose. Right away, you get some really nice lemon in the mid palate, right up front. It has kind of a very fluffy feel to it, which you can tell if you've had the Pahlmeyer, which I have. Very fluffy wine, very nice mouthfeel, very kind of creamy and fluffiness. You can tell that this was originally intended for that, but just didn't make the cut. But man, yeah, it's a really nice, very good palate, very nice richness coming through. Let's give it another sip here. It's like a pineapple action coming out, which is really nice. Kind of like a marzipan even. A little bit of like a butterscotch that's coming through with some of that spicy oakiness, like that clove on the finish. Really good, really interesting. It's kind of a nice wine, not too shabby. Is it Premier Cru though? That's a tough one because we're going up against some pretty heavy hitters. What I said Premier Cru was like Freeman, Rocchioli, some of the Rocchioli. Some of those Rocciolis are Grand Cru, but we're really going up against some heavy hitters. These guys are blending, from different vineyards. It's not single vineyard. I don't know. I feel like there's that oak is trying to integrate and kind of, do something. Let's give it one more good sip. Man, there's something about that texture. I just can't say village because that texture is just a little something special. It has some nice balance between like oranginess, orange blossom, honeysuckle, but then it goes into some immediate lemon. You got some pineapple. I want some more kind of terroir-driven flavors coming out. I thought that Carneros might get a little bit of that graveliness. I'm not really getting much of that. Yeah, it's a tough one. Man, you're right there on the brink of being a really special wine, but there's something on that finish where it's just kind of like some of that oak just lingers a bit too much, where I'm like, especially for 62% neutral, I shouldn't be getting this much oak on it. So heavily toasted oak, it's definitely coming through, and I feel like it's hiding a little bit of something, which makes it feel like, the wine's being manipulated just a little too much for me to say that it's a Premier Cru. Because Premier Crus just really sing. And the fruit expression comes through, and there's no questioning what's happening, in the laboratory. So I'm gonna have to say that this is a high-end village wine. That's not a bad thing. There are plenty of excellent village wines out there. But for Napa, I'm gonna say, yeah, this is a Napa Valley Village. It's not single vineyard designate. It is Napa Valley, which means, as you know, we're getting a blend from different areas. Carneros, St. Helena, way up north in the Napa area. So no, I can't really say that this is Premier Cru. I really want a Premier Cru to be, slapping me a little bit more, making me really kind of find out about what the vineyards are doing versus what the winemaker is doing. So we're gonna go with, this is a high-end Village wine, very good. And you can definitely pair this with some beautiful like roast chicken with some lemon integrated into it. Absolutely. Let's get into this pairing. Let's see if this Village wine, what it can do with this Saint Andre, extra creamy, beautiful cheese. And we got some truffle little chips here. Absolutely. Yeah, that is perfect. You got that beautiful oak, the beautiful acidityness, all those nice fruits coming through with that valley floor fruit, Napa Valley, warm weather, a little bit of that acidity, that Carneros coming through. Really doing well with that truffle flavor, which goes with that heavily toasted oak. That nice creamy cheese to go with that creamy, velvety texture that this wine has. This is excellent pairing. This is a perfect wine and cheese wine if I've ever tasted one. This is a crowd pleaser. You pour this, a little wine and cheese party, a little, maybe pre-football little gathering or something like that, or pre-dinner gathering, man, you have this together, I think you're going to have some very happy guests. I'm a happy guy. The nice little kind of breezy summer afternoon here. This is being recorded in late August. And so we're here about like 78, 80 degrees right now. Breeze coming through. This beautiful wine. Are you kidding me? Does it get any better than this? Dublin doesn't think so. And neither should you. I think you deserve a nice Pahlmeyer, Jayson, Napa Valley Chardonnay, some beautiful St. Andre cheese. You don't have to necessarily get the truffle chips, even though I highly recommend it, because you can't get enough truffle, really. And do a little sipping on some wines, hang out and relax and enjoy yourself. Because, gosh darn it, you deserve it. Cheers, everyone.